If past Green Party budget amendments are anything to go by, the things we propose today will be the things the administration picks up much later. For example, LED streetlights, electric vehicles, insulation schemes, passive house, etc., all proposed in Green Party budgets and adopted to some degree or other years hence. The frustration, of course, is that for the elements of our budget amendment which address the climate emergency, that we simply don't have the time to go about it in this tardy fashion. Improving the insulation of homes is an area that the UK government has failed to produce a strategy on. As energy prices rise due to our reliance on fossil fuels, the importance of energy conservation grows. Rebates, loans, windfall taxes are all well and good in the short term, but they will only ever be a sticking plaster on the problem. The days of cheap energy from fossil fuels, and certainly not nuclear, are over. Retrofitting insulation is not cheap if it is to be done well. To finance it on a national basis would require HS2 levels of funding, or Sizewell C levels of funding. Politics, as always, is about choices, the choices we make, and too often governments make the wrong choices. I don't believe this government is going to come to the rescue with a national retrofit strategy. In the absence of leadership from government, we have to do it ourselves. The Energiesprong model was first developed in the Netherlands and now is beginning to be adopted here by councils like Nottingham, Exeter, and a number of London boroughs. They've formed the Retrofit Accelerator Homes Innovation Partnership, and together are looking at new ways to improve both homes and finance those improvements. On the technical side, whole insulated wall and roof facades, complete with triple glazed windows and solar panels, are made in factories and installed on site in a day. With the lower energy demand, air source heat pumps are a viable replacement for gas boilers, coupled with mechanical ventilation and heat recovery. The financing of the Energiesprong approach is equally innovative. The householder is charged £10 per week, comfort charge, but when linked with their new lower energy bill, total cost should be in the region of about £1,000 per year. I've seen this work being carried out in Nottingham, and not only does it improve the insulation of properties, but the look of them as well. It's effectively a new house. I've spoken to Energiesprong and the contractors doing the work and heard the positive feedback from residents. It also provides the opportunity to establish a manufacturing facility for the facades within Kirklees, and with all the jobs that would bring. Also in our budget, we have our old favourite about making the passive house standard, or equivalent, the energy efficiency standard that all council buildings are built to. And it is pleasing to a degree that the council is now, after 6 years of asking, putting its toenail in the water with a passive house pilot scheme. I await with interest to see what conclusions they come to. Possibly it's too expensive, which is what happens when you have a pilot project instead of a policy. As well as high insulation standards, we believe that solar PV should be fitted as standard on all council new build schemes. The rising cost of energy and the falling costs of solar PV make this a no-brainer. We're disappointed that there appears to be no dedicated budget line in the administration's budget for the Kirklees Climate Commission. Given the importance of the administration places on the Climate Commission and their position as Vice Chair, we would expect to see a dedicated budget line that KCC would manage independently of the Council to facilitate administration, sourcing third-party research and working in the community's interests. So we would hope the Council can rectify this outside the 2022-23 budget process, so KCC can establish its rightful independence. Other councils around the country have sought to mobilise the assets of the community to help fund investment through community municipal investments, or climate bonds as they're sometimes called. A bond issue by West Berkshire Council raised £1 million in 3 months and offered residents an attractive return. We would want to use this funding to help finance renewable energy installations on all schools in Kirklees. Link it to learning, provide a demonstration to children of a hopeful future. We desperately need to provide that. Kirklees Council needs to mobilise itself to address the cost of living crisis, and a single budget amendment will simply not do that. There are things we can do, though, like establishing a fuel poverty fund to help improve the energy efficiency for people living in cold homes. We will seek initially to fund this through a charitable trust that the Council will establish and seek contributions through a variety of methods, including an appeal through the council tax mailing. Similar charitable trusts have been established in other parts of the country and have raised hundreds of thousands of pounds. We lack a programme to support the development of a protected cycleway network in Kirklees. The proposal we put here will kickstart that programme, and we will push for a reprioritisation of the West Yorkshire Transport Fund away from road building and road widening projects and towards active travel. Those of us who've tried to get traffic calming to make people safer, and I know this is something that the Conservatives don't seem to be interested in, from speeding traffic, have frequently been frustrated by Kirklees highways. Green councils have prioritised ward budget, public realm funding and any other funds we could get our hands on to put traffic calming on roads, to make them safer for pedestrians and cyclists. This has been in the face of limited budgets and against Kirklees highways policy. We need sustained funding to support area-wide traffic calming on residential roads, so we're able to respond positively to community concerns, take a preventative approach to traffic speeds rather than one rationed on the basis of injury accidents. Positive work was carried out a few years ago by the administration, led by the Labour, then independent councillor Richard Murgatroyd, helping establish Valley Care, a community-based cooperative. Our proposal is to provide staff to support the development of further community-based care cooperatives in Kirklees. Members of the care cooperatives will have a stake in the organisation they work for, and the emphasis will be on care, not the profit motive. These cooperatives will provide all staff with at least the living wage, a training programme which supports development and progression. The model of care provision will also play a role in raising standards for the wider care sector. So, please vote for our amendment, or failing that, implement our proposals years hence at your leisure and claim them as your own.
Thank you, Cllr Cooper. Is that seconded? Councillor Lee Richards.
Thank you, Chair. I second and reserve the right. Thank you.